Right, I'm back. Um, yeah, this is Havoc. He's been my companion in the days when it was difficult and I didn't want to do anything else but lie on my bed and look out the window. He was always the one that came and laid here on my shoulder. He doesn't normally jump in my lap, but we've got some heavy weather and he doesn't like heavy weather. Last time I was talking about the family and how they felt, and that we need to talk, and we don't, and I still don't. I still have difficulty to talk about the things that scare me, the things that I think about at night, and the things that worry me, because I don't want my wife to worry, and I don't want my kids to worry, and they've got enough to worry about already as it is. It's bad enough for them, for her husband and their father to have cancer, and they're also scared. They're also scared that I'm going to die. And it doesn't matter how many times I tell them that I have no plans to die. That, you know, it's still difficult for them. It's not, I don't know. But you need to talk, even if you talk to a friend or to a pastor or see a psychologist, a psychiatrist or someone. But there's one thing that I would change from the beginning. I would have talked about it more. Friends ask, but they're also not always that comfortable, because they don't know whether they're intruding. Are they asking you something that you don't really want to talk about? And frankly, most of the times I don't want to talk about it. Most of the times it's not nice. So yeah, it's a difficult thing. Keep them informed. They want to know. I have really good friends that have been my friends for 40 years, one of them. The others have been my friends for more than 10 years. And I tried once to, not once, a couple of times, just to think how it would feel to me if one of them would be where I am. But it's not something nice to talk about. I live with it every day. There's not one day that goes past where I don't think about cancer. And it's not only once, it's several times a day, and it's normal. It's something that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. You have to think about it, but don't let it occupy your mind. Don't let it take control of your mind. And I must be honest, at some stages when I was really down, it kind of did take control. There were days that were very difficult. After I had the biopsy, in spite of being on antibiotics for 2 months prior to the biopsy, I caught a really bad infection. I can honestly say that I have never been as sick as the 2 weeks after the biopsy in my entire life. I was really sick. I don't know, maybe the antibiotics my body kind of got used to it, and it didn't really have the desired effect when I went for the biopsy, due to the fact that I was on it for 2 months plus. But something didn't work. Something wasn't good. I had IV antibiotics for 2 weeks, for 10 days after the biopsy, 3 times a day. Some or another count that's supposed to be 40 or 60, mine was in the thousands. So that didn't help. I had this diagnosis, this realization at that point that it's not only incurable, but it's probably going to kill me. And I was as sick as a dog. So, not a good time. Not a good time. But I got better. And of course, then you have to take a decision as to the next step in what you're going to do. Prostatectomy, ADT, active surveillance, radiation. Normally with prostate cancer, I was told that chemotherapy is only a last resort. But you have to take a decision. And one thing that I also want to stress is get a second opinion. I mean, it's not like I didn't trust my urologist. I've been with him for more than 15 years. Every year, we're on first name terms. But still, I said to him that I'm going to get a second opinion. And he said, feel free. And I was lucky enough to, through a doctor friend of mine, got a quick appointment with another urologist in a city about 2 hours away from us, 2.5 hours drive away from us. And this guy was extremely nice. I sent him the reports, the results from the biopsy. He looked at it. He called me. We had a telephonic consultation. And he said to me 2 things. He said, I want you to go for a PET scan because I want to see where the cancer has gone to. And I said to him, what do you mean? And he said to me that I had the aggressive one, and that there was no question of whether it had spread from the prostate. It was just a question of how far it had spread. So a week later, it wasn't even a week, a few days later, I drove to his rooms. It's in a urology hospital. Went for the PET scan. Saw him the afternoon after the PET scan, him and one of his partners, and they said to me that unfortunately you in the 0.1% of men who get prostate cancer. You have that 0.1% ugly, aggressive one, and it has already spread to your lymphs, your lymph nodes on both sides. So there was no question about treatment for me. It was get it out as soon as possible. That was it. I didn't really have a choice. That was it for me. So from that point on, it was even worse, because not only do you have prostate cancer, but suddenly this thought that I had in my mind that incurable and fatal is the same, it's now, this kind of proves it. This kind of emphasizes the fact that I'm probably going to die from this. And you are not necessarily going to die from it. I'm here. It's 18 months later. I'm still here. I'm talking to you. So just stay strong. And that's it for today, because this cat is firstly getting heavy, and secondly he has embedded his left front paws nails into my hand. So have a nice day.